Today, we're back at the lodge in Austin, Texas, where just a few weeks ago, I won $30,000.
And Sam Queso is getting everything he wants today.
Oh my gosh, in for 2K at 30K. Sammy boy.
And it looks like we're picking up right where we left off.
And Sam Queso off and running, picking up just where he left off. How hot is Sam Queso? For the love of God, he's getting everything he needs.
But the thing about heaters is eventually, they have to end.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Sam Queso, the first misstep of the day for him. The young fella's messing with aces.
But how did we even get to this point? Let's rewind. On November 5th of last year, I set out on a goal to make $10,000 playing low to medium stakes poker. I told myself if I could accomplish that, I would take a shot in a bigger game. Fast forward exactly 4 weeks later, I made almost $21,000. So now, it's time to take our shot. All right, y'all, today's the day. We're taking our shot. I'm doing some thinking, and I've been reading y'all's comments, and I've decided I'm gonna go back on the Lodge live stream and try to win $60,000 this time. No, I'm just kidding, but hopefully we do, you never know. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous this time, and it's probably because I'm about to take all of this cash, which is $10,000 of my own money, and exchange it for some poker chips, and then play some cards with those poker chips, which just sounds crazy even saying out loud right now. Now, I'm a little in my head, and this is not a good thing, but I've been sun running the past few weeks, and every time I go on a hot streak like this, it just feels like a ticking time bomb. Like, eventually it's gotta run out. And I don't know. I'm hoping it's not today. And honestly, this is just a horrible mindset to be in, and I gotta snap out of it. And if you guys are actually buying what I'm saying right now, you need to shut your mouth and you need to lock in, boys, because I'm about to take this $10,000 and double it. No. Triple it. Well, I might not triple it, but I'm gonna double it for sure. So if you haven't already, lock in. Come on. I make it down to the lodge just after 2 p.m. The only thing going through my head is last time I was here, I walked out with $30,000. It feels like deja vu. I take $10,000 to the cage. I exchange it for what feels like not a lot of chips. 39 in black, 1 in red, 1 in green, and then 5 in yellow.
Lower cage, please.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Appreciate it.
All right, sir. There you go. Good
Perfect,
luck.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
As I'm walking back to the stream room, the nerves start to kick in. But just like last time, I don't have any time to settle in because right off the bat, we get involved in some massive pots.
From the Lodge Mahal in beautiful Austin, Texas, welcome to a very special Friday episode.
Right away, I recognize 4 players at the table: Mo Money, Skull Mike, Scuba, and Crypto Max. However, I've never really sat there and studied how any of them play. The only thing I know is Mo Money and Scuba are what you would call sticky players.
Oh my goodness. Scuba makes the call here with Jack High.
Everyone buys in for $2,000. I have $8,000 in chips right behind me because it's a match to stat game. So as soon as someone wins a pot, people immediately start adding on to match that person's stack. The stakes are 5-10, but the $25 and $50 straddle are on basically the entire stream. My 5th hand dealt in, I pick up pocket 8s in the cutoff. Open a 150. Big Raj calls in the big blind and Crypto Max calls in the straddle. We're going 3 ways to a flop. It comes 4-6 jack. Action checks to me. I see bet for 225. Big Raj calls and Crypto Max folds. I have a feeling we're way behind. But that feeling quickly goes away because the turn is the 8 of hearts, of course. We have a set, and even better news is now Big Raj decides to lead into me for $400. Now there's a chance he could have a straight with 7-5, but there's no way I'm folding. And with so many flush and straight draws out there, there's no way I'm just calling. We've been playing for 15 whole minutes, and I'm all in. Raj snap calls. My heart stops beating for a second until he flips over King Jack. We have him drawn dead. The river is irrelevant. Just like that, we get a full double up, and we're starting off hot just like we did last time.
Sam Queso was on fire last stream, and he's starting it off again.
That double up definitely calmed my nerves. But then, we all agree to play the knit game for $500, which means the last player to win a hand puts $450 into a splash pot and tips the dealer another $50. And of course, we get dealt straight trash for the next 15 minutes, and we lose the knit game. I throw my $450 into the middle, and the dealer rewards me with pocket tens, open to $350 from the low jack. TM thinks that's just stupid and not enough money at all. So he just rips it all in for $3,800. It folds to me. I just want to get back the $450 I put into the splash pot, so I call. We have him crushed. He has pocket nines. We're going one time for max pain for a pot of nearly $6,500. The flop is safe, but the turn is also safe. But of course, the freaking river is also safe. Did you guys really think he was gonna hit a 2-outer on me? We're running this hot.
And Sam Queso off and running, picking up just where he left off the last stream he played on here. Hell, he may move to Austin.
After that hand, we're up almost $4,500. We've been playing for 45 minutes. 30 minutes later, we get involved in another massive hand. Action starts with a raise from Crypto Max to 400. It folds to me in the $50 straddle. I look down at ace 5 suited. Now, what the graphics aren't showing you is that TM limped on my left. I don't really want to just call and potentially play a multi-way pot in between two players with a mediocre hand. So instead, I take the aggressive route and 3-bet to 1,200. TM folds and Crypto Max just calls. As y'all can see, we're in horrible shape against his ace queen. On top of that, the flop comes ace high. In the moment, I was loving this flop, but little did I know, I only had a 17% chance to win this hand. Crypto Max checks. I think I have the best hand, so I bet $850. Crypto Max obviously calls. We're gonna need a lot of help. And the dealer gives us exactly that.
Check.
How hot is Sam Queso?
We hit the 3-outer and make 2 pair. We're running absolutely pure. The pot is already over 4,200, and Crypto Max only has a little over 2,000 left in his stack. My decision is easy. I put him all in. He doesn't take long at all before calling. This time, we're running it twice. We need to dodge all the jacks and queens in the deck in order to scoop this $9,000 pot. The first river is a deuce, and the second river is a 6. We hold on both runouts to scoop another massive pot. That hand puts us up over $9,000 on the session. But later today, we could lose all of that profit in just one single hand. For the next hour and a half, I don't lose any hands. I chop a pot with pocket sevens, and then I flop the nuts with ace jack with a royal flush draw, which I hit. No, I'm just kidding, we're not running that hot, but I do make almost $800 of profit from that hand. Then we all agree to play the 7 deuce game for $100 a piece, which means if you win a hand with 7 deuce, you make an extra $800 of straight profit. And of course, we pick up 7 deuce in the small blind. Scuba opens a 250 from the low jack. Mo Money calls in the cutoff, and Skull Mike calls on the button. Action's on me. There's already $800 in the middle. I'm in the worst position with the worst possible hand. But if I can get all of these guys to fold, I'll make $1,600 of straight profit. So let's apply the pressure. I 3-bet to $1,500. I only have to hold my breath for 15 seconds because one by one, they all fold. Not only are we running hot, but when we finally decide to bluff, it gets through.
That man, he's in fuego.
30 minutes later, we still haven't cooled off.
Mo Money opens to 75 in the cutoff. Skull Mike puts in the 3-bet to 225 on the button. We pick up Queen Jack of Diamonds in the small blind. There's already been a raise and a re-raise, but I still think we could actually have the best hand here. The raise came from the cutoff, and the re-raise was from the button, which means they could both be raising super light here. I definitely don't want to fold, but I also don't want to just call and play a multi-way pot out of position. So I put in the 4-bet to 700. It folds over to Mo, and he folds his Jack 9 offsuit. Now it's on Skull Mike. He thinks about it and calls. We're going heads up to a flop against a player who's probably 10 times better than me. But that doesn't matter. We flop a flush. This is insane how hot we're running. I put out a small bet for $650. I never thought I'd be referring to $650 as a small bet, but here we are. Skull Mike tanks for almost a full minute. Please, just rip it all in, brother. He doesn't, but he does call. We're off to a turn, and it sucks. He could easily have the ace or king of diamonds in this spot, and if he doesn't, it's still going to be really hard to get more value with our queen high flush. I decided to check. He snap checks it back. The river is a brick. I'm still not 100% sure if we have the best hand here. He could have been checking back the turn with the king or the ace of diamonds and be trying to trap us here on the river. The pot's already over $3,000. I don't want to check and face a big bet. So I decided to put out a blocker bet for $650. If he raises, I'm 100% folding. He counts out calling chips and calls.
Call.
I saw the queen high flush and we're good. That hand puts us up over $12,000, but we're not done yet. Up to this point, things have just been smooth sailing. I have an amazing image, and that probably has something to do with the fact that I've won just about every hand I've played. Besides that 7 deuce hand, I haven't really tried to bluff, but that's about to change. Skull Mike opens in 175 in the hijack. I'm in the cutoff with king queen. I put in the call. It folds over to Crypto Max in the straddle, and he calls as well. The flop comes 6-7 jack with 2 diamonds. Crypto Max checks, and so does Skull Mike. I think we have a chance to steal this pot. If I had a diamond in my hand, I would like this bet a lot more. But either way, I'm still going for it. I bet 225. Crypto Max folds, and it's on Skull Mike. He does not fold or call. He raises to $700. I should probably just be done with this hand, but if he's raising this flop, I think he more than likely just has a jack or an overpair. Now in the moment, I put him on exactly a jack, and I think we can get him to fold if we put in another raise. I've been playing super tight and waiting for a spot just like this. I put in the re-raise to $1,500. I'm doing my absolute best to not give off any tells, but he might have noticed me swallow half a gallon of my own spit right here. After tanking for what felt like an entire week, Skull Mike calls. The turn is the queen of diamonds giving us top pair. Skull Mike checks. I was playing the ball almost any turn, but now we have top pair, so there's no need for us to bluff. I decide to check it back for pot control. The river is the 8 of spades. Skull Mike checks again. Now the question is, do we bet for thin value or do we take our top pair to showdown? In the moment, I felt like if he did have a jack, he's folding almost any bet I make because I've been playing so tight. After going back and forth, I decided to check it back. And thank God I did, because he has pocket aces. I can't help but feel like we got off the hook pretty cheap there. But we still lost over $1,600 that hand. But who cares? Because the very next shuffle, we get dealt pocket 10s. Mo Money opens to 75 from the +1. It folds to me. We're making it more. I 3-bet to 325. Action folds over to Scuba in the big blind, and he cold calls. Mo Money decides to call as well, so we're going 3 ways to a flop. It comes 8-3-6 with 2 clubs. Scuba checks, but Mo Money is doing no such thing. He puts out an overbet for $2,000. What? I don't think there's any way we can fold pocket 10s on this flop. There's way too many draws out there, and I've also seen Mo overbet with just top pair earlier in the session. I'm preparing myself to potentially play the biggest pot of my entire life, because if I call this bet and Mo continues on the turn, we're probably gonna get it all in. After tanking for half a minute, I put in the call. Scuba folds, we're heads up. The turn is the 9 of spades. That's one of the worst cards in the deck. 7-5 makes a straight, and if he had a hand like 9-8, he has 2 pair now. But to my surprise, Mo checks. Now what do? The pot's over $5,000, and I have just under $9,000 in my stack. I still think there's a chance that Mo just has a flush draw. If he does, I want to charge him the absolute max to see a river. If he folds, I'm perfectly fine with that. I go all in. Mo thinks about it and folds. We're taking down another massive pot and we get back all the money we just lost the hand before. But we still have one more massive pot left to play. The stream is ending in 20 minutes. I wasn't counting on playing any more big hands. But then I look down at pocket kings. Open at 150. It folds to Scuba. He raises to 475. And then Mo calls. Scuba only has around 3,000 left in his stack and he's down over $20,000 on the day. I'm 99.9% sure he's ready to play for it all. So I go all in. Scuba snap calls. Mo folds, so we're going heads up for a $6,600 pot and we're up against Ace King. Can we hold one more time and end this stream with another massive win? The flop is safe. The turn is a 7. All we need to do is fade an ace and we're scooping in the $6,600 pot. And we do. Just like that, we make over $3,500 this hand right before the stream comes to an end.
What is going on right now? Come on! Come on! I can't even think right now. I'll report to you guys when I get back to Dallas, okay? All right, y'all. We're back in Dallas. It's been almost a week, and honestly, I still can't believe it. But before we get to the results, comment below. Do we go on Hustler now, or do we just keep spamming the lodge and see how long we can keep this thing going? Personally, I don't know what to do. On one hand, I do want to play Hustler, but on the other hand, I love the lodge, and I think it'd be stupid not to see how long we can keep this thing going. So comment below, where do we go, Hustler or the lodge? Now, here are the results. I bought in the game for $2,000. I had $8,000 behind me just in case, but I never had to use it because I cashed out for $16,600. I won $14,600. Which is just insane. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the vlog, but before I let you guys go, I want to say thank you to each and every person that's been showing love on the recent vlogs. You guys have been dropping tons of positive comments, been dropping likes. I truly appreciate each and every one of you guys. Until next time though, shut your mouth, stay locked in, peace.